friends, I hope y'all are having a great day today. Today's video is going to be 65 individual freezer meals, or about a month worth of breakfast and lunch. You could also package up some of these as like family meals. I'm just doing individual meals. All the recipes will be in the description box for y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy. Good morning, friends. The first recipe we're working on is going to be the creamy chicken. And so I'm just going to put 2 chicken breasts in my crock pot and 2 cans of cream of chicken. Now that I've got both of these in here, I'm just going to turn it on high and let it cook until everything's nice and tender. Next recipe that we're getting started on is ranch chicken spaghetti. Alright, so we've got 1 chicken breast and then a block of cream cheese. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of Knorr chicken bouillon, a packet of ranch seasoning mix, and if you make your own, that's a good substitute. And then 5 cups of water. Now I'm going to cook this on high for a few hours until the chicken is nice and tender, and then we'll shred it up and add our pasta. The last thing I'm going to be getting started on for now is rice, and I'm going to cook 5 cups of rice in my Instant Pot. I'm going to put 7 cups of water with it and just press the rice button. So now that I've got everything in there, I'll put my lid on, make sure that this is on the sealing mode, and then just press the rice button, and then you're good to go. Up on the meal prepping, I've got 5 potatoes that I'm going to turn into baked potatoes. These are going to be roasted potatoes, roasted carrots. I'll obviously probably have to pull these before I pull those. And while I have those going, I am going to be trying a hack that I've seen where you can basically fry eggs in the oven. So you put them on a piece of parchment paper, spritz it with some oil, and since these are going to be for breakfast sandwiches, I did pop all of the yolks, even though it didn't look like all of them have been popped. So I spritzed it with oil and then salt and pepper. And while these are cooking, I'm going to be making some like O'Brien style hash browns by chopping up some potatoes. It'd be a lot easier just to get a bag of the frozen potatoes. Anyways, I'm going to get all this in the oven. Okay, I've got the O'Brien style potatoes. I've oiled, salt, and peppered them. They are heavily peppered. That's my bad. I'll just not add any to the scrambled eggs we'll be making, because these are going to be for breakfast bowls. And then our rice is fully cooked. Alright, so I was originally going to make a whole nother batch of pancakes for the meal preps, but we had a ton left over from breakfast. So this is the pancakes that I made. It's something I found at the discount store, to be honest. But here is what we have left over. I just made up one of these entire boxes as sheet tray pancakes, and I'm going to put 3 in each meal box, and then I'm going to do 2 sausage links, and I'm going the easy route, just the banquet ones. And then there's only 1 left over, so one of my kids will devour that. I'm just going to put 2 links in each meal box, and then put the lids on those and label them. Eggs are complete. Browns are going in now. Bless you. So to label these, I just used a Sharpie and some masking tape and just labeled them because that'll peel right off and then I can use them again. And so now to the freezer these go. Next up on the prepping, I'm making some breakfast sandwiches. So I'm going to make 6 English muffin breakfast sandwiches and 4 croissant breakfast sandwiches. They're all going to be sausage, egg, and cheese. So I made 10 eggs, so that'll use up all the eggs. Got them on this plate. I'm just going to be using frozen Great Value sausage patties. Sorry, I know that wasn't the best angle, but and then some sliced cheddar cheese. Alright, so I've just cut the croissants down the middle. Now I'm going to add the sausage and then the egg, because since it's already nice and fully cooked, usually the center of your breakfast sandwich cooks the least, if that makes sense. Anyways, there's that, and then a piece of cheese. And I know I'm using some pre-made items in these preps, but one, it's still going to taste better than if I just bought the store-bought ones, and 2, it's probably even a lot cheaper. I didn't really price check. And then I'm going to wrap each of these in plastic wrap. I've done the exact same thing with all 6 of the muffins. Now I'm going to wrap everything up and put it all in a Ziploc bag that I'll label sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Alright, so now here's all 10 of the sandwiches. I couldn't fit them all in this one, so I separated them. That'll work out better anyways. So now to the freezer these go. These potatoes and carrots are done. So the roasted potatoes and the carrots, I'm going to portion out into the smaller parts of these meal prep bowls. I'm thinking I might end up having to put the potatoes in the bigger part, but we'll wait and see. And then the other potatoes I'm going to put in a 2-compartment one. I'll show you here in a minute. Here is all of the potato and carrot ones. We're going to be adding some pulled pork to these in just a little bit. Here is all of our baked potato meals. So, that's the microwave. So I put all of them in here, and then what I'm going to do to each one is cut it open like this and kind of squeeze it so it kind of flares out. Then I'm going to add butter, and then I'm going to add cheese. I'm going to complete the rest of these, and then later on today I'm going to add some barbecue pulled pork into this side, and then it'll be a barbecue pulled pork baked potato. Here's all of them complete. Now I'm going to put the lids on and set them to the side until I have the pulled pork ready. Here is my pulled pork. My husband actually smoked this on the grill for me. I'm going to turn it into barbecue pulled pork by adding a fair amount of barbecue sauce to it, just sweet baby berries. And then I'm going to add it to all the meal boxes. Here's all the meals that I'm about to be putting the pulled pork into, all kind of laid out. And now here they all are with the pulled pork in them. I'm going to put the lids back on and label them all and let them completely cool down, then add them to the freezer. Now these are all headed to the freezer. For the next part, I'm going to sit at my table and chop up all these veggies. I'm going to chop up an onion for fried rice, and then mushrooms, bell peppers, onions for a Philly cheesesteak bowl, bell peppers, onions, celery, mushrooms for chili, and then bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms for the breakfast bowls and the egg bites. And I'll show you what everything looks like when I'm done. In this back pan, I will be making chili. In this front pan, I will be making Philly cheesesteak bowls, or well, the filling for it, or the meat mixture. Either way. So Here I have the stuff that I'm going to, the veggies I'm going to saute for the chili. There's celery, mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, and then these are for the Philly cheesesteak bowls. My daughter put a couple random shreds of cheese in there. It's fun. But there's a tiny little bit of celery, a lot of bell peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Once my pans heat up a little bit, I will start sauteing them. Okay, maybe she put more cheese than I thought. It's fine. So I'm going to saute these and then set them back off to the side. And the same thing with the chili. I'm going to saute the veggies, then set them off to the side so I can brown the meat. So I steamed some broccoli in the microwave. I added a little bit to the egg white and breakfast bowl mixture. Now I'm just going to add some to the smaller part of all of these. I'm just going to divide the rest up. Now that I've got the broccoli added in, I'm going to add in some rice that we cooked up earlier to each one. The creamy chicken has been done for a good bit now. Obviously, I'm handling the crock pot. So, I turned it off a while ago after the chicken was fully cooked and tender. And now I'm obviously able to handle it nicely. Oh, and the measuring cup I was using wasn't for measuring purposes. It was just to make it easier to put it into the bowl. So, I didn't measure out anything like super closely. I don't even know if that's a third of a cup or a fourth of a cup, but it's probably a third of a cup. Anyways, I split that across 5 meals, and it's all gone. And now I'm going to put butter, salt, and pepper on all of these broccoli. Then I'm going to close these up. So obviously I took the veggies out and I've already got the ground deer in. This is 2 pounds each of ground deer. Once this is fully browned, I'm going to add the vegetables back in. And to this I'll be adding seasonings and some Worcestershire, and then it'll be done. That one, I'll be adding beans, tomatoes, the whole 9 yards. It's chili. Alright, so I took these bowls, and obviously I put rice in them because my Philly cheesesteak mixture is almost done. So I'm going to top it with the Philly cheesesteak mixture and cheese. Alright, I actually have both burners off now. I'm going to add garlic to both of these, about a tablespoon's worth. You don't have to actually measure. I just figure. Okay, so the chili is going to be 1.5 tablespoons. Then add the veggies back in. I don't know if I told y'all, but I did turn both of these burners off now. Just because I don't want them to continue cooking and may not be able to give them my full attention. Anywho. This one, I'm going to add beef bouillon powder, about that much worth, and whatever you call it, the double U sauce. And now I'm going to mix this up thoroughly and get it into my bowls. That looks good, right? Okay, let's go dish it up. Follow me. I sure hope I'm not making y'all sick moving y'all around so much. Anywho, so the rest of the rice is going to be used for fried rice. I actually put it in the fridge. It was fully cooled. Well, mostly cooled, I guess I should say, before I put it in there. And I did measure out the same amount of rice for all of these. I don't know why some don't look like they have as much as others. But anyways, I'm going to put this all in here. dish it all up. Maybe, I don't know, this is starting to be like a lot. I'm just going to put some Italian style cheese on each of these. And I'm not going to measure. Well, I am measuring. I'm measuring with my heart. You measure with your heart too if you want. Or if you want it to be more exact and them all be exactly the same, then you do that. I don't want to do that. I just know that whenever these get reheated, I want them to have a nice layer of gooey, melty cheese on the top. There's 5 bowls, and this was 2 cups. So you can do the math on that. Is off because I plan to move this to the back burner. But I'm going to estimate everything for now. So I'm going to start with 1 packet of chili seasoning. And then I'm just going to show you everything else. Italian style petite diced tomatoes. Half of the skin of tomato paste, unless it looks like too much, and then I might just do like a third if we can. Fire roasted diced tomatoes with green chili. Diced tomatoes with onion, celery, and green bell pepper. And then we're going to start off with 2 cans of mixed chili beans. My papa does not like a whole bunch of beans in his chili, so that's why we're going to start off with 2. And the reason we're starting off with 1 packet of the seasoning is because these are seasoned. And then we have a lot of flavorful elements that we're adding. Once I get all of this in here though, I am going to possibly add some water. I don't know, we'll see what it looks like. Okay, here is those diced tomatoes, and I traded out the Italian ones for this chili starter. So we're just going to use this instead of these. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever told y'all this, but I'm terrible at making small batches of chili because it's my favorite food and it'll never go to waste. So I added 2 cans of water, and now we are at the brim, and I don't think we need the tomato paste this time. Chili is not an exact science. It is super forgiving. Anyways, I'm going to put this on the back burner, put the lid on it, and let it simmer on low for at least an hour. But if you don't feel like doing that, you can go ahead and dish this up into your bowls, or you can freeze it right away, even though it's not been fully heated, because you're going to fully heat it the next time. I just want time for these flavors to develop. Here I'm going to be making some egg bites, or egg muffins. I think they originally are a copycat from Starbucks, maybe. I don't know. Either way, we're going to start off with 12 eggs. Now we're going to add about a 1/4 cup or so of cheese. I am, of course, eyeballing. And then I'm going to be adding in a fair amount of these veggies. Probably about half a cup. And then salt and pepper. Now I've divided these among a 12-cup muffin tin. And I'm going to bake them in the oven now until they're done. This doesn't look like much of anything good right now. But I shredded up my chicken, and then, of course, all the cream cheese is just kind of floating around. I'm putting in a pound of spaghetti pasta. I'm going to break it in half and then stir it every so often, add water if needed. That cream cheese will turn into a beautiful sauce as the pasta cooks. I can't explain the science of it. There it is with the pasta in, and I'll come back every like 5 to 10 minutes to stir it in. I have a pound of deer sausage, and then I'm going to cook my scrambled eggs with veggies in the oil. I'm going to just pull this out, and then we're also going to be working on the blueberry baked oatmeal. This bowl, I had a couple tablespoons of melted butter. I'm going to add in 2 eggs. Let me get this little lift. I also added in 1 3/4 cup of milk. That was cinnamon, probably about a teaspoon. A little bit of salt. Add in some sugar. Probably about a 1/4 cup. A little vanilla. Now I'm going to add in a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Next up will be 2 cups of quick oats. Actually, I'm going to do about 2 1/4 because the recipe calls for rolled oats, but I don't feel like digging out mine. Now I'm going to do about half of this bag of blueberries. It's a pound, so about 8 ounces of blueberries. Then we're going to mix it up and add it to a baking dish. Okay, so I don't feel like transferring this to another pan, so I'm going to set this on top of a cookie sheet and then bake it. So if it boils over, at least it boils over on the pan. Here's the egg bites after they were done. I won't make these again unless I get silicone cupcake liners or the silicone muffin tin, just because the cleanup was crazy. But I made 6 boxes with 2 egg bites and 2 sausages each. Here's the ranch chicken spaghetti. You can see the sauce got all nice and creamy and not crazy looking like it was before. Here we have 4 bowls of the ranch chicken spaghetti. My family loves this meal, and so they ate about half of it. Here I'm finishing up the breakfast bowls. I already have the sausage and potatoes in. Now I'm adding in the egg mixture with veggies and cheese. Here I'm making the Spam fried rice. So I just sauteed up my Spam, then my onions, scrambled like 4 or 5 eggs, and then I toasted up my rice, added some frozen peas and carrots, soy sauce. I made 6 meals out of this, plus we had leftovers. Here's the oatmeal bake fresh out of the oven. Thankfully, it did not spill over. I made 5 meals with it, plus we had a couple of extra meals. For those, I just did a piece of it, plus a couple of sausage links. And then I made 5 meals of the chili, plus there was plenty of leftovers. All in all, we made 65 meals to go to my papa's freezer for him to have homemade breakfast and lunch for the month of August. And he eats dinner with us every night, so he already has homemade meals every night for dinner. But since he's no longer able to cook for himself, I knew that this would mean a lot to him, and it absolutely did. It was lots of fun to bring y'all along with me making these freezer meals. It helped to keep me motivated, but that is absolutely not why I made these. I had already planned on it, and I just thought it would be fun to film it too. That is everything for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and above all, never ever forget that Jesus loves y'all, and I love y'all too. And I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye!